My doctor stared at my arm for a solid 10 seconds before she said, wait, hold still, and grabbed her colleague from the next room like something was on fire. I was 16 and had been sparring competitively in Taekwondo since I was 9. For the past year, I'd started getting dizzy spells mid-class, my skin breaking out in these angry red patches wherever my GI touched the training mats. My instructor, Master Choi, thought I was faking it to avoid conditioning drills. You used to have fire, he told me once, arms crossed, disappointment written all over his face. Now you quit before you even start. My parents figured it was growing pains or maybe dehydration. I figured I was just weak. The dizziness got worse. One afternoon during a sparring match, I blacked out for a few seconds standing up, right in the middle of a kick. Everyone laughed, thinking I'd tripped over my own feet. I laughed too, because what else was I supposed to do? Admit I genuinely didn't know what was wrong with me? My mom finally dragged me to an allergist after I broke out in hives so bad after practice that my neck looked sunburned in patches. I sat there rolling my eyes through the skin prick test, certain they'd find nothing and send me home with a lecture about stress. Most of the test sites did nothing. A few raised into small itchy bumps, nothing dramatic. Then the nurse pricked a spot near my wrist with a solution containing a synthetic rubber compound, the same stuff used to treat and stabilize training mats so they don't degrade under constant impact. Within 2 minutes, the skin around it puffed into an angry, spreading welt the size of a golf ball. The nurse's pen stopped moving. She left the room without saying anything and came back with the doctor, who took one look, muttered something under her breath, and started prepping for a second, more controlled test. Turns out I had a serious contact allergy to a chemical additive used to treat vinyl and rubber flooring, the exact kind used in nearly every dojo, gym, and wrestling room I'd ever trained in. Every time I stepped onto those mats, barefoot, sweating, my pores wide open, I was essentially absorbing low doses of something my immune system treated as an attack. The doctor said continued exposure risked full-body reactions, potential breathing complications, the whole terrifying list. Suddenly, every humiliating memory rearranged itself into something that made sense. The times I'd get sent home sick after tournaments. The rash my mom blamed on cheap laundry detergent. The way I always felt fine the moment I stepped off the mat but crashed hard an hour later. I wasn't lazy. I wasn't out of shape. My own body had been quietly fighting a war against the floor I trained on for 7 years. I had to quit competing immediately. No more sparring, no more belt tests, no more chasing the black belt I'd been working towards since elementary school. I remember sitting in my room that night feeling like someone had reached into my chest and scooped out the only thing that made me feel like myself. For weeks, I avoided the dojo entirely. Then my little cousin, who just started white belt classes, asked me to help her practice her forms in our driveway, safely away from any mats. I started breaking down footwork for her, explaining timing and balance the way nobody had ever explained it to me. She improved fast. Her mom mentioned it to another parent. Within a month, I had 3 kids showing up on Saturday mornings, paying me to walk them through drills, strategy, and mental focus, all without a single mat in sight. I started filming short breakdowns of sparring footage, analyzing footwork and reaction timing, and posting them online for kids whose families couldn't afford private lessons. A regional coach found my videos and asked if I'd help prep his students before tournaments. By the following year, I was doing paid remote coaching sessions for competitors across 3 states, charging more per hour than I ever expected, all from a sport I could no longer physically step onto the mat for. Master Choi actually reached out eventually, awkward and half apologetic, asking if I'd come consult with his newer students on strategy. I said yes. I just told him we'd be doing it from the sidelines.